Out of all the classes in Terraria, I have to say melee seems to have the most variety when it comes to what actually defines a melee weapon. For example, a warrior can yield anything from your stereotypical holy sword, a bubble-firing flail, or even whatever the hell this thing is. And with this in mind, today we're going to be looking at a melee weapon that I think finds itself in a very interesting spot. One that not only functions like a late-game shortsword, but it's technically the only projectile-only melee weapon in the game. Of course, I'm talking about the Starlight. Like most Empress of Light drops, it can pack one hell of a punch, but comes at the cost of being from a difficult side objective at a hectic part of progression. The question is then, does it deliver enough damage and function to be actually worth your time? Before we jump into it though, if you enjoy binging these weapon reviews, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to help support the channel. Alrighty then, let's run through how you get this thing. As mentioned, the Starlight is in fact an Empress of Light drop, meaning this weapon can be obtained as early as post-Plantera. First, you're going to want to head to your surface halo between 7:30 PM and midnight and be on the lookout for a prismatic lacewing. These are usually pretty easy to find and can be caught in a bug net to save for later. Once you are ready though, all you've got to do is kill one and the fight will begin. When it comes to the fight itself in a melee class, I'd recommend a few things. First, superior mobility is necessary, as the Empress is, as we know, absolute light speed, so the cute fish run mount during rainy weather is just perfect for this. And when it comes to weapons, something with homing like a Scourge of the Corruptor or Flare-On is your best bet, as it means you can focus fully on dodging while your projectiles do all the heavy lifting. Once the Empress is down, you will have a 25% chance of obtaining the Starlight, which in any normal person's playthrough is about a 1 in 4. Unless you're me, in which it took 9 goddamn fights. Anyway, let's see what it can do, shall we? The Starlight is definitely one of those more unique melee weapons in that it's late game and focuses on very close ranged combat. As you can see though, when you do hit the sweet spot with this thing, its damage output is utterly insane, dealing about 6 times the DPS of the Terrorblade on single targets. And the crazy part is, this isn't even where this thing excels, as its prism-like projectiles can infinitely pierce with no damage fall-off, making DPSs around the 10,000 mark completely possible. And yet, this absolutely leaves the Terrorblade in the dust with its measly 2,300 DPS against groups. So I guess now's the time to see how it does against the real thing. As you would expect, the Starlight completely vaporizes any lower HP enemy groups, being able to deal damage to all of them at once. Even against tankier mimics, the sword feels like an absolute eraser, and although it's not much, the Terrorblade doesn't have quite the same effect, taking a few more seconds to take out this large HP pool. The same results can be seen clearer when matched against biomimics, but of course, there is a reason for this, and that's most definitely its lackluster range. Even against close quarters bosses like Golem, I found the Starlight dangerous to use, pretty much resulting in a tank the hits and kill it before it kills you scenario every fight. It's a good thing this sword can take out Golem in sub 20 seconds, otherwise I'd probably be dead. And the thing is, this same glass cannon-like approach will present itself against the Cultist. And yet, while there is some utterly insane damage that can take down the Cultist in record speed, if you're not armored or buffed up, you're probably going to have a hard time using this thing, especially in Master Mode. Nevertheless, it is undeniable that the Starlight is outrageously powerful, dealing similar DPS to that of the Solar Eruption, a post-Cultist melee weapon meant for the Moonlord. And the thing is, these type of weapons always go back to the same old question of, yes, it's an improvement to your typical weapon like the Terrorblade, but is it actually worth the extra time spent farming the Empress for? And to answer that, well, that's for you to decide. What are your thoughts on the Starlight? Is it something you'd normally go for as a melee player, or something you'd completely miss? Let me know down below. This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.